Hey, what's up you guys, it's Connor, and today I'm going to be doing a book review on The Battlemage by Taran Matharu. If you guys don't know, this is the third book in the Summoner series. In the first book, you follow a boy named Fletcher who was abandoned as a baby and was adopted by the town's local blacksmith. He finds out that he is able to summon what's called demons, and these demons come from a different place called the Ether and allow people called summoners to be able to perform magical acts and help in this war that the humans have been fighting with the orcs for a while now. There's also dwarves and elves in this book, so it's really pitched as a mixture between Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, and Pokemon because of the magic school and the magic being Harry Potter-like, and then the demons being similar to Pokemon where they're able to have them go out and fight and do stuff like that, and then they put them away like Pokemon trainers do with their Pokemon, and then they also have bonds with their familiars, their demons, so similar to Pokemon, and then also Lord of the Rings because of the orcs and dwarves and elves and the setup really of this world. I'm going to keep this one spoiler free, so if you have not read the Summoner series yet, you don't have to worry about me spoiling anything, but as usual with my book reviews, I'm going to go through my pros, give you my cons, give you my rating, and be done. My first pro for this book is that just so much happened. This is the final book in the trilogy, and so I was wondering if he was going to be able to wrap up everything that he had going on in one book. It seemed like it was just too much to be able to wrap up in one, but he ended up being able to pack in an insane amount of stuff happening. If you think about where Fletcher is at the beginning of this book to where he ends the book, it is so different and so much has passed from this front cover to the back cover. It's a little bit crazy. Another thing is I just loved seeing all the characters, even characters that played very minor roles in the first book, pop back up, and you get to see a lot of where those characters end up. And he did a really good job of bringing people back that I didn't think were gonna come back into the story. So I really loved seeing some of those minor characters come back and play roles in this book as well. I loved all of the new demons that we got to meet. There is one in particular that I know that I would want that. I don't know if I would have a high enough summoning level because you're limited on the type and the number of demons that you can have. So I don't know if I would have a high enough summoning level to even have that demon, but yeah, you got to meet it in this book, and I'm sure if you guys know me, you'll know which one it is. But I just loved learning about some new ones and seeing some old ones come back, and I just really love all of the demons, and I still really want a guide book that has illustrations in it of all the demons and their summoning levels. They have a little one in the back that has some of the demons in there, but there's not pictures, and I want pictures, and I just want it all. I feel like Taran, if he really wanted to, could do a Newt Scamander-like character that goes around and does research on all the demons, and I would absolutely love that. If he just made a series about someone going around and researching all the demons, I would just love that. I also can just picture this so well as a movie if it had a good budget, granted, because there's a lot of demons in here, and if they didn't have a big enough budget to make those look good, then it would just be so mediocre. But I can picture this so much as a movie that would be completely gripping, and I would love that again. I like that not everyone is safe, which is realistic. A lot of authors like to protect their characters, and I feel like Taran did that a little bit at the beginning, but then he realized that that wasn't realistic, and so that safety started to go away. Some characters don't end up with happily ever afters, and I really appreciated that because if they all ended up happily, I would not believe it. And because of that, it started making me really anxious. At some point, I was just so worried for certain characters and how they were going to end up, if they were going to die, or if they were going to live, or if they lived, would they be happy? I was just very anxious about it. And something that I really liked about this one is that it just jumps straight into the action. Between the first book and the second book, there's like a year gap, and so the story doesn't immediately get started. But in this one, it starts right where the second one ends, and it just keeps going. Again, this book is very fast-paced, which is what I like to read, is very fast-paced stories. And once I started this, I read it straight through. I think I read it in like 3 days or something because I had a lot of work to do, but I loved it. As the third book in a trilogy, I really liked how it was wrapped up, and this actually gives you pretty solid endings to almost every single character, so you pretty much know exactly the direction that all the characters are headed in at the ending of this book. Now on to some of my cons. In the first 2 books, I feel like he ended every single chapter with a cliffhanger pretty much, and so it kept you reading more and more and more to find out what was happening because of the previous cliffhanger. And this one, I didn't think that he did that as much. So sometimes I would feel okay stopping after a chapter and not feeling as compelled as I was while reading the first 2 books. I found that I missed having those little cliffhangers at the very end that was like, oh no, are they gonna survive this next thing? And then reading on to find out if they survive or not, it wasn't as pressing. Another thing that happened, I don't know if this was just me, but at one point in the book, I was like, this is so Lord of the Rings right now. So it wasn't as unpredictable as I was hoping it would be, but I still really enjoyed it regardless. And my last con is just gonna be a personal one. It just is that I liked the ending, but there's just so much more. Like, there's so much in this world that hasn't been explored yet. There are total areas in this world that haven't been explored. Obviously, I appreciate that Taran's gonna go and do some other things. I think the next series that he's doing is science fiction. I'm not 100% on that, but I hope he's open to going back to this world and writing more about it, even like a prequel series, which I know he's coming out with The Outcast, which is a prequel book about Arcturus, but even like a very far in the past or even future of this world story, or a different place, or following a different race, maybe explore the elves some more. I don't know, there's just so much room in this world to be explored that I still don't want to leave it. Which I know is not a bad problem to have, but I just want the possibility of more. So overall, I really enjoyed this book. I ended up giving it 4.25 stars, which I know is a weird rating, but I liked it better than the first book and less than the second book. The second one is my favorite, so I ended up giving it 4.25 stars. I do highly recommend the Summoner series though. I'll leave links down below where you can check it out for yourself. And yeah, guys, just hop on this train. So that's gonna be my review on the Battlemage by Taran Matharu. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up and comment down below if you've read the Summoner series. Are you interested in reading it now? If you had a demon, what would your demon be? I either would have a Canid because of Nook, or the demon that I met in this book that I think is just so cool. And you'll find out what animal that's based off of if you follow me on Instagram, because I have posted a picture of it there. Anything else you want me to know, leave it down below, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.